Welcome back, everybody. This is Sam's League, the podcast, week 9 and 10. Me, Jack, and Dan on. It seems like we've lost Cole as a host, but we do have guest host B.McNick on after a big win over Cole. Actually, you just got to slot right in his spot.
Absolutely, very excited, and I would like to point out the fact that I think not having Cole on the podcast is an unbelievable upgrade.
Yeah, can't argue with that.
I love not having him.
Coming off second win of the year, you're still neck and neck with. Hold on, for those who don't remember, let me go through. Those who had quite too many drinks or not enough, whatever it may be, at the draft night. Last place, I think we said regular season.
Regular season, last place regular season.
Has to do a beer mile. That's going to be filmed and cut up, and we'll put some music on it and pretty her up. And but last place will have to run the beer mile, and we'll send out that video after the season. Dempsey and Brendan right now are tied at 2 and 7. Dempsey has a head-to-head matchup, and I think 2 points lead, but not by a whole lot. But Brendan doing his best to stay competitive.
Yeah, I think I'm riding the hot hand here. I haven't had my attorneys look through whatever I signed, so there may be a way out of that. But you know what? I don't think I have to worry about that. I could easily see myself not losing a game the rest of the season.
You go either way. Winless or losers.
Brent, I could see that too.
Easily.
Just a quick note. Dan will be racing the person in the beer mile.
Yeah.
While also drinking, though, if he misses the playoffs.
Shame to whoever loses to Dan.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Just letting you guys know.
Okay.
Nobody will know it was a beer mile. It'll be a real mile.
The loser should have to give Phelan a hug after he runs a beer mile. That should be.
No, it's after the sauna.
If he finishes.
If he doesn't have
I'll finish the beer portion.
But so that's good to have you on, Brian. We'll get through the quick hits here. Alex and Jack sitting at 7 and 2. Chris is now 6 and 3. We were talking earlier this week. If Chris didn't have, I don't know who he's got the list. I think it's Billy and Demps. Oh, Brendan and
Demps.
The last 2 weeks, he could easily lose out. He might still lose out. We don't know. We don't know.
Absolutely.
It looks like Lev Bell certainly isn't coming back at this point. Me, Buck, Schmidt, all 5 and 4. That rounds out the top 6. Dan's also a 5 and 4, but he has way lower points. I want to say somewhere close to 50 lower than Schmidt. Joe's at 4 and 5.
I'd say closer to 100.
Closer to a lot.
A rough season for Buff and Sut so far.
But they're scraping together.
5 and 4 is incredible right now.
Scraping together wins, and that's all that matters. Just make the playoffs and see where it goes. We got Gruesome Twosome and Cole at 3 and 6. And like I said earlier, Brendan and Dempsey at 2 and 7. Going on to the worst and best average scores of the week. Brendan keeps his title at 83.46 per game. He's 40 points below Dempsey, who is second closest. So, hey, man, you just need one big week.
I'm going to be honest. I think that and my record are deceptive. I think my players have poured everything out day in, week in and week out. And, just a couple more breaks here and there. And I think a couple of those games could have went either way.
A couple of breaks that aren't in their legs. They would have been much better.
We're in great shape.
But Alex takes over at 122.83 a game as league best, with his 4th highest score of the week. Oh, Jesus Christ. However, he's only 6 points ahead of Jack, so 1 and 2 is neck and neck. Let's go to defense. Chris takes over the worst defense in the league from Schmidt, who held it for, I think, the entire season.
He's 14 points ahead of Jack. Where are you getting your stats from?
I don't know where, I guess. I'm just reading. Terrible at reading. Chris takes over 109.14. He's 10 points ahead or so of Gruesome Twosome with the worst defense in the league. Dan takes over best defense still. That's the only reason he's in the playoff run.
It's a mean
Total
defense.
767. He's 60-ish points below the next closest person, which is pretty incredible. Notable news.
I've only scored 27 more points than I've let up this year.
That's incredible. That's so few points.
You're such a piece of shit.
You're a piece of shit. Notable news injuries. I don't think Lev Bell's left Miami, but he hasn't reported to Pittsburgh as of yet. So I guess this season is a wash.
There's a sighting at a Pittsburgh.
He is in Pittsburgh, which is, not a report because that's where he lives. So not shocked that he went back there.
No.
Maybe see his family.
The other one is Mostart broke his arm pretty gruesomely
Oh,
on Thursday.
yes.
Everyone forgets
Yeah.
about that one.
Geronimo
I did not see
Allison,
that.
Geronimo
Damn.
Allison's out for the
season.
IR.
AJ Green will be out a couple weeks at minimum.
couple weeks.
That's going to
minimum.
hurt Team Schmidt. That's
sure
good
will.
news.
Giovanni Bernard is back this week.
So watch out, Mixon
Believe.
owners.
Sonny Michelle is on his way back.
So Michelle's way back.
Gronk was
is
out.
just
I
a
think they're going to hold
question mark.
Gronk out again.
Yeah, it's just a
personally.
question mark in general.
Cordarrelle Patterson.
Let's. I mean, if you need to check out the injury report, just check out Brennan's team.
Again. That's the latest information. He picks them up as they get hurt. Stephon Diggs missed a week, and Billy didn't know we had an IR spot, so that was fun.
Brennan's still with 3 IR players on his team.
Yeah.
Starters.
I don't know. You know,
You can just drop him at this point. You don't have to pick anybody up.
listen, I'm a different type of owner.
None of them
And
are-
I think
You're a
that
player's
I
owner.
think I'm a player's owner, and I think the ring speaks for that. These guys hurt themselves playing for me. You know, I'm not just going to throw them away like a piece of trash. I think that's what separates me from the rest of the league.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So that wraps up news injuries. Let's get into the best thing we saw this week. Brendan, you're our guest. You can start.
I will actually instead go in the opposite direction and say the worst thing I saw this week,
Okay.
and that was Zeke Elliott absolutely shitting the bed on Monday night and gave Dempsey the win. So thanks, Sam. I wholeheartedly blame coaching in that scenario, and I think that at the end of the day, you're the one to blame for this.
I take full blame. I called Garrett. I said, pull that guy. He's going to get hurt. He's running over too many people.
I think Sam's actually the best thing I saw this week as well. In a roster move he made, just moments before the Sunday 4:00 games, 3:10, dropped his tight end Jordan Thomas to pick up Ed Dixon, who's I don't even think he's the starter in Seattle. Nick Vanette, I think, starts.
Didn't know that.
Picked up Ed Dixon, who put up a goose egg. Meanwhile, Jordan Thomas caught a touchdown in the first quarter. Now, he only had 1 catch for 7 yards, but he scored 6.7 more points than Ed Dixon, and that was just under an hour before the game started.
You hate to see it.
Yeah.
Yep. So let's continue, Jack. Do you want to shit on me a little bit more?
I was going to, but I'll refrain. I'll shit on my boy Buck. I'm sorry, Buck, but take away Aaron Rodgers out of his lineup, and his team scored a whopping 28 points.
Phenomenal.
No touchdowns. I don't believe. I guess.
There can't be any touchdowns. if there's-
Thielen scored a touchdown.
Thielen scored a
wow,
touchdown.
that's even worse.
It was a rough week for Schmucker's Jewel, much to Team Cup and Suds' joy.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
Look,
it's the second highest percentage of points by one player on the team. Followed Dempsey was first with just under 50% when he played Buck. Drew Brees scored 41 points.
I don't like to talk bad about other owners. I'm just going to say that
But I'll do it quickly.
I'm just going to say, actually off topic, while I kind of led myself into that, I think that Cole is probably one of the worst owners I've ever seen in the history of the sport. I think he's not funny, and I think he's a very, very, I think his Snapchat should be revoked. But having said that, I have league sources telling me that they just think that, Buck's kind of a little too lackadaisical with his guys. Hear a lot of late nights from these guys before games. And, the locker room's just, it's raucous. And
It's in shambles.
it's bad. So,
He's lost control.
time of the
listen,
year.
he's lost control of the locker room. It's bad.
So, I'm gonna finish up here. Best thing I saw all week was actually Billy. Billy traded away Doug Baldwin, decent player, not having a great year, for one Austin Eckler and one, who was the other
Matt
guy?
Breida.
Matt Breida. Following week, drops Eckler immediately because he didn't know he had an IR spot for Stephon Diggs because he needed a receiver. The receiver he picked up, Devontae Parker. A whole 0.8 points.
Nice.
Congrats, Gruesome Twosome, on that solid stat. I think you did pretty good this week. But so let's get into previews for the week. Jack, why don't you start us off? Cole versus Joe, 10 versus 6. Joe needs to stop falling out of. Joe is not 6.
Joe's 8.
Joe is now in 8th, and we got Click It or Trick It in 10th.
Joe has been on a skid for the last couple
That's
of weeks.
embarrassing.
a
Cole's in
little
10th.
He is in
Embarrassing.
10th place. Let's see, who's in Dan? This is a big game for Joe.
Yeah.
Cole could stay in the hunt with the win here. Holy smokes. I didn't get a chance to review this. Interesting.
My sources have also told me that Jack is extremely underprepared. I just think it's
Those sources are accurate.
Yeah.
I think it's
He's focused on the field, not off it.
Juju and Antonio Brown are going to bounce back week after playing Baltimore last week, although it's a Thursday night game against a good Carolina defense. Mahomes is due for a good 30 points every week. I can't trust Cole's defense. He's got Cleveland's defense. Cole's going to lose this one 71.9 to 108.6.
Love it. Dan, what do you think?
I would, I need Joe to lose as even though he's.
Hold on, I want the timeout. You say this, you said that before 3 or 4 games, and I wanted to yell at you because I wanted to say you have no bearing on whether you wanting them to win or not works, but everything broke your way this week, so I don't know.
Everything's breaking my way, Sam. All right, I'm in the position where I just need to keep winning, and whether it's 77 to 68, as long as I get wins, I'm on the up and up. I just need other people to lose, and I have a favorable schedule. I could win out considering looking at my matchup this week against the Gruesome Twosome.
We'll get into that.
Anyways,
Give me a prediction.
I would love to pick Cole in this one, but you can never trust Cole, and he's the worst owner, as Brendan said earlier in the league. So Joe's going to just landslide him.
So Joe,
But I don't like to talk bad about other owners.
No, just Cole.
Yeah.
just do it quickly. I also think Click It or Trick It is in need of a new GM switch. Lost control of the locker room. I'm going to take Joe. Brendan, what do you think?
You don't get stuffed in a locker and then come out of the locker and bully somebody. So I'm going to say that Cole is going to lose by probably 49 points.
Wow.
So I'm going to give him.
That's a good week for him.
I'm going to give him. Yeah. So I'm going to give him 70 to 119.
Good quick math there.
I was trying to.
Do you sell insurance?
So clean sweep. Everyone's taking Joe. Brendan, why don't you break us down the next matchup? Me versus Alex. 4 versus 1.
So, just going to kind of, put it out there now. The projections have Team Skinny Fat at about a 24-point dog. More quick math on the fly.
We should bring you on
And
as
you know
our
what?
fact checker all the time.
I kind of think that this is how it's going to go. I mean, Michael Thomas and Odell Beckham alone are both projected to outscore your receivers pretty heavily.
They're both projected to outscore my receivers
I
combined.
mean, Gordon, Connors, I think it's going to be a very bad week in, Team Skinny Fat land.
It's just Team Fat
Holy
now.
shit, he's projected 122 points.
Yeah, Team Fat.
Standard league.
Sometimes you give up. So I'm going to have to say, I'm going to call this one 134 to 93.
I'll take a 93 in a big week where a lot of my players are on bye. But whatever. Dan, Jack, who you got?
Oh, yeah, you do have your 2 starting wide receivers on the bye.
Doesn't help.
I really would like to pick your team because, you would like to regain control of first place.
Well, if this guy's picking against me, I got no shot.
Good point. Unfortunately, I'll take Scott's thoughts just in my standings below.
Dan?
Yeah, Sam, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to go with Alex because I need him to beat you. You're one of those people.
I think I'm going to have a good week, but it doesn't matter because Alex might break the record for points this week. He's already projected about 75% of it.
You just have to bake this L on the rest of your season projections and just move forward with your team.
Yeah, that's why I needed the win last week,
Right.
and Zeke royally fucked me.
Couple of clean sweeps right there. Wow.
2 second clean sweep of the week. Next matchup I'll take, it's Gruesome Twosome versus Pup and Suds. You want to talk about bye week? Bye week massacre. Billy has 5 starters on bye right now, and he's got. However, we gave him a ton of shit for San Francisco defense. Scored 15 points.
Big keeper.
Great week.
Big keeper.
He's got Brianna Hines, Tyrell Williams, and Chris Godwin are his starting receivers, along with Keelan Cole. I think Matt Ryan's going to blow up against Cleveland. So, Dan scored. He scored over 80. hasn't scored over 85 in the last 4 weeks. So Billy doesn't have to get too many points for it to be a match. I'm going to take Billy because I need you to lose. Excuse me, I'm going to take Tusum because I need you to lose. 186-84. Jack, why don't you take us through your thought process here?
I'm looking at Bill's team, and there's certainly I could conjure up a way that his team wins. The Bucs will be throwing the ball against Washington.
That's the idea, right?
The Chargers and Oakland will be throwing the ball. It could be Breda's breakout game.
Throw the ball.
Jacksonville.
Oakland sucks.
Jacksonville. Hines will catch a bunch of passes. Could find the end zone. Cook blows up every other week.
I'm just trying to figure out.
I'm trying to justify it here.
Yeah.
But I can't do it enough, and I think Team Pup and Suds wins.
Okay. Bren, who you got?
I'm going to go Pup and Suds on this one.
Hey, that's fine. That's
It's every 3 weeks.
spend with the heart, not with your money. I get it. Dan, can I assume you're gonna pick yourself?
You know what? Normally I don't like to pick myself, but the Tusum's just been littered with his bye weeks. I'm going to have to go with myself this week.
First on sweep. We'll get to the next matchup.
Should've been
Dan, Buck versus Brendan, our guest. To Brendan. Matchups of the Brendan. Rivalry week.
Glad
if
you brought
will.
this. Glad you brought this matchup to me, Sam. So this is going to be a doozy of a matchup.
This is actually 12 versus 5 playoff implications.
going to be
And beer mile implications on the line.
This is going to be a doozy of a matchup.
Mind you, haven't looked at the lineup yet, so.
Brent, I can tell.
Brendan waits
I can
till
tell.
late Saturday.
There are plenty of people that I'm going to assume that Brendan's here, that he's going to maybe make some moves right now. Potentially. He could do it. It's on his phone.
Craig's Airlines back.
You know, he's got a decent starting lineup outside of the running backs right now. You could do worse with Landry, Cup,
Jesus, man.
2 tight ends. Wow.
Cut some fucking IR spots.
You could do worse. However, at this moment, he cannot actually start another running back. He doesn't have one available.
They're all.
Aguilar somehow is still being rostered as well.
I love it. I'd keep him.
So look on paper.
2 tight ends.
So
is
2
fine,
tight ends.
dude.
On paper, look. Schmucker's Jewel's
I'm
gonna
gonna take
roll.
credit for that one.
All right, Schmucker's Jewel's gonna roll on paper. However,
He's got Leonard Fournette in the starting lineup.
I can come up with a way that Brendan wins this week. Ben Roethlisberger, that
They're gonna need a
6th
score a
round
lot
pick.
of Carolina.
Ben Roethlisberger's gonna have a big week.
I think
Jarvis
he's a big
Landry's gonna have a big week. Cooper Kupp's gonna struggle because Robert Woods obviously gonna go off. Theo Riddick, huge week. Devontae Booker's gonna get traded tonight. Start on Sunday, huge week. I really think Trey Burton and Olsen are actually going to have some nice weeks as well. I think Brendan's going to start a defense, start another running back.
I hope.
God willing.
And I think despite a huge week from Mike Evans, that team has no name should change their name to a team has 3 wins. And I think Brendan McNichol wins this one 77 to 76.834.
There you go. Always at
I think it was 8.834, just so the records are correct.
So you round up, obviously, as a math guy.
I'm also going to take Brendan McNichol. I think I've showed him enough. He has the tools in front of him to cut and add running backs as he sees fit. So yeah, Brendan,
Can I do another justification this week real quick?
Sure.
Aaron Rodgers, they're not going to throw the ball out this week. Questionable Mike Evans. Allen Robinson's going to have a bad game. Tariq Cohen.
Is he healthy
Jordan
yet?
Howard's back
Robinson?
a little bit. He's back to practice. Karen Johnson is questionable. Fournette back from injury.
Well, you got to leave Riddick in if Carry-On's in there.
So, yeah, no.
Fact.
I'm taking
Thielen on a bye, so
This team has no name.
it's looking off for a team has no name.
Okay.
My guys fight for Tick. Okay, that's what we do. Like I said earlier, I'm riding the hot hand. I got to go with myself on this one.
Fair enough.
You outscored him last week.
It's gonna happen again.
So, Brendan, a real playoff implication on the line. Jack versus Chris, 2-3. Fighting for that bye week. Who do you have?
Does Chris's slide continue?
Okay, so this is a really tough one because it's actually not. I like Jack. I don't like Chris. No,
That's all I need to hear.
there's just something about that It's something about that keeper that just still drives me up a wall with Kamara. So I'm going to go with Jack. I mean, I think Andrew Luck is going to outscore Tom Brady.
Obviously.
I mean, the running backs are incredible on Jack's team. Two-headed monster. It
This
seems
is the battle
to
of running
happen
backs.
all
It
the
is.
time.
Ooh, this is
Yeah,
gonna
but
be a good one.
Adrian Peterson, no.
He's older than my dad.
I think I think we're gonna have a really, really strong push from Will Lutz, but I think ultimately
Former star on 30 Rock.
they're gonna I think they're gonna hold him off, and I think that Jack's team is gonna win 100 and I'll tell you what, I'm gonna say 126 to 94.
Oh, wow.
God bless you.
Wow.
Mhm.
Now, I will say, I do think you guys are evenly matched
It is.
out, which is crazy. You have pretty much the same team, except
Basically,
You
match up
have-
with the running backs.
you have Tyreek Hill and he has Cooper and Tate, which I think all four of the receivers stink except Tyreek Hill with Cooper, Corey Davis.
That is a fair assessment.
I will also be taking Jack.
You don't need receivers when your two running backs score 60 points between the two of them.
Fair enough. Jack or Dan, who do you have?
Jack, Chris Diggs.
Jack, Chris Diggs. Surprised you didn't vote for 800 points over. Jack, I'm assuming you're going to take yourself.
137 to 6.
Yes, I'm
To
gonna take
six?
myself. I'm even hedging our defenses. I'm expecting a bad game. But we're going Buffalo against New York here on the defensive
Ooh,
matchup.
I like that. I like that. I like that a lot. That's awesome.
I honestly I can't say it enough. I don't like talking bad about other owners. I just think that Chris is a vile human being.
I think we can all agree.
I just hey, I don't
Brennan
like
definitely-
We need more league members like you.
Brennan definitely has a side podcast. I hate every owner in my league.
don't look up podcasts.
It's him and Tyler Down.
Yeah.
Yo, go get Tyler's corner. Yeah. Jack, why don't you take us through the last matchup here? Schmidt versus Demps. Again, playoff implications on the line and beer mile implications on the line because I actually do think Dempsey wants to do one because he's a fucking psycho, but it is what it is.
Just to prove they can beat us all at it.
Yeah, 6 versus 11. Break it down.
Brendan's favorite Eagles fan here.
Our international superstar.
Mm-hmm.
I won't justify this one, although Jimmy Graham and Sammy Watkins both did not practice today. So I am going to take Schmidt.
Okey-doke.
This one.
Brendan.
I can't have Demps win. I got to give it to Titty Two Necklace.
Titty 2 Necklace appreciates you. I gotta take Demps in this one just because I need Schmidt to take a loss here.
I'm in the same boat as him. Demps came up to me two consecutive weeks by losing to me by 0.36 and by beating Schmucker by less than 2 points. He's really coming up. Demps is really coming up, Dan. So
You know what I really want? You know what I really wanted to happen? If I had scored, I think if Zeke had 21 more points or 21 more yards,
I was gonna say, yeah.
or like 18 more yards, it would have been a tie, and I would have been
Oh,
super pumped about that because it ended. I don't know how it worked out, but it worked
well,
out.
bad news for Dempsey because according to Tyler Downey's unqualified corner, Duke Johnson's not a good start this week.
Hold on, did he call the? Who did he call last week that we're like? Oh no, he called Thielen.
He said
Thielen was gonna
Thielen.
go, he did.
But he said he was joking. He was like, just kidding. Don't listen to that.
Oh,
So
come on, Tyler,
yeah.
stand by your convictions.
He would not start Matthew Stafford, and he would not start Corey Davis. So, Jack, I don't know if you're starting him or not, but
Not anymore.
not anymore.
trade